And for more, I'm joined now by Mohammed Munir. He's a viral infection and vaccine expert. He joins me from Lancaster in England. It's good to see you again. What grade would you give the world right now in terms of its medical response to this new Omicron variant?
I think the response has been pretty enormous, and I would say sometimes very unnecessary. And I think out of the 6 variant of concerns we have had, this is the only variant that took only 4 days for the WHO to declare this as a variant of concern. So overall response is pretty enormous, and I think I can understand why it is that, because of the extensive nature of those mutations, not only in the spike protein, because that is what we generally talk about, but this virus got also mutation in other genes which are equally important for the fitness of the virus. So the response overall we are seeing is pretty justifiable with the nature of the mutations.
And you know, you and I, we've spoken numerous times about the Delta variant and the world's slow response to that variant when it emerged. Have we learned the lesson from Delta?
I think absolutely right. That is the lesson being learned from the Delta, and that is now being practiced on the new variant. And I think one of the reasons is that the world is more conscious is that when Delta variant introduced into a country through the travel, primarily asymptomatic people, afterward it took the whole country or the continent on the knees, and it spread so lavishly that literally there wasn't any time to put any mitigation plan in place. So I think learning from the Delta variant, now it is becoming much more emphasized for the rest of the world that it's best is to reduce the spread of this virus in the country as much as possible, so that we can buy the time first to understand the virus, that it is really posing any serious effect or not. If it is, then you have the measures already in place and you are ahead of the curve. If it is not, then you know it is not really of a concern.
And the message from the European Union and the United States tonight is the best defense remains getting vaccinated and also getting a booster shot. And that's good in countries where you have access to that. But what about places like Southern Africa where people are still waiting for their first jab? Doesn't that make this new variant actually more dangerous for them possibly?
Well, absolutely. I think there is a lot of unknowns within this variant, and in next 3 to 6 months, there would be a lot of information coming out. And if, God forbid, if this virus would be reinfecting people who've been already recovered or vaccinated, that is going to be posing a really big risk, because in unvaccinated people, those are vaccinated either with the Delta or some of the Beta variant, particularly in the South Africa, which are both to some extent vaccine resistance, particularly the Beta variant. And if those people can be infected with this new variant, that means there is a possibility of a next variant that would be Pi within the Greek lettering system. So I think in a broader perspective, again, the emphasis is again on to distribution and deployment of the vaccine at the level where the chances for this virus to spread within the community is minimum, and that is how we're going to have a control on this pandemic and the future variants.
And Dr. Munir, let me ask you, if we had a better track record when it comes to getting everyone vaccinated on the planet, would we even be talking about a new variant tonight?
I think we will certainly have a much better control onto the new variants. Viruses would still carry on mutating. It would still try to infect people who might be immunocompromised or having some other treatments or comorbidities that's ongoing. But I would suggest that the scale wouldn't be at that level, because viruses have to infect a certain level of population before they really adjust and become fit within the community. And if everybody is vaccinated, then there is a barrier against the virus and the new variant at every next stage. So it wouldn't really be able to breach to the level where it would become very fit and very successful. So if everybody is vaccinated, the chances for these viruses to adopt and to settle into the community would be very minimum.
Yeah, the message remains the same. Get your shots. That's the best way to protect yourself and everyone else. Mohammed Munir joining us tonight. As always, Mr. Munir, we appreciate your time and your valuable insights. Thank you.
Thank you.